Hey everyone, it's Natalie, and I'm back to chat a little bit. Our topic today is college safe versus college obsessed planning. That's college safe versus college obsessed planning. So, as you jump in here or catch the replay, let me know what grade your child is in. And let's see, one word about how you feel about homeschool, high school right now. Keep it nice now. So today I want to talk to you about something that parents I see frequently with homeschool parents, right? Especially as our kids get into middle school and high school. That's the difference between this idea of college safe planning versus college obsessed planning. So being college safe is wise. It's planning, right? It's wise. Being college obsessed is exhausting and it's often unnecessary. And maybe, like a lot of families, you don't even realize when you have crossed over that finish line from college safe versus college obsessed. So let's talk a little bit about what does college safe mean. College safe planning is about making sure your student has options. It looks like solid core courses in the maths, the English, the science, the social studies, right, in a foreign language. It looks like having discussions about electives that are thoughtful and that are tied to a student's passions and interests. It looks like a transcript that makes sense for that student. And maybe some level of rigor, right? Like appropriate for your child. And documentation. College Safe looks like documentation of grades, of course descriptions, maybe a portfolio, right? So it's really steady, like year by year. It's really intentional and not just grabbing at anything and throwing spaghetti on the wall, right? And it is student centered, meaning it's about that individual high school student, which may be different than a high school homeschool student you graduated already. And this student may be different than one that might be coming next into high school 4 year family. So you want to build a path that keeps all doors open, but you're not trying to open every single door because every single door might not be for that student, right? So you got to figure out some things and slow it down. And all of this is part of like college safe. So you might say, okay, get it, makes sense. So what's college obsessed? So this is where things start to shift. College obsessed planning looks like chasing every AP. Oh, whew, that just, no. But some people think that that is the way to go. Chasing every AP, dual enrollment for every just automatically, and CLEP, right? Maybe as an opportunity just in case. Let's just cover everything because we obsessed. We just grabbing at everything, right? Overloading the schedule to look competitive. Like, let's just pack it in because we got to look competitive. It's not about the student and their real life and their passions and interests. It's just about, like, we just going to stack it all in, right? Choosing classes based on what colleges might want instead of what your child actually needs. Like, yeah, there is a thing for college planning, and we're talking about that. And matter of fact, in the boot camp, we'll be getting into that soon. And you might say, what boot camp? Well, I'm doing a boot camp right now. So I'll give you an idea of how you can actually join us in the boot camp, right? So, there is this thing about colleges are looking for probably certain things, especially in those core categories that I mentioned, like the math, the science, social science, foreign language, and the Englishes, right? But within that, which of those, in those different categories, like which courses under those big subject categories does your individual child need, right? And then maybe you're looking at college rankings, and the prestige of certain colleges, and you're like, okay, we got to go to this type of college with this ranking, right? And then maybe this really unfortunate feeling that if you don't do everything, your child will miss out. Like, and that hurts the most. It's like you don't have to do everything, y'all. You just need some plans, some intentionality. There's so much to do. You can't do it all. And your student can't do it all either. Even if they are extrovert and high charging, at some point it's too much, right? Um, but you can do quite a bit, and it varies again. Your capacity as a family, your students' capacity, passions and interests, all of these things, right? There's no set path or way. So this is all about just finding out what your student, your individual student needs, right? And that's what the boot camp is about. High school decisions. So I want to see you in the boot camp. All right. So here's a reality. This approach of college obsessed planning, it often leads to burnout. And we don't want burnout, right? But guess what? Burnout not just for you as a homeschool parent, but burnout for your student too. Double whammy. And then I probably should say burnout for the family because they're living through this as well. And then a loss of joy in learning, which is super sad because learning, like you, as homeschool, we want to instill a love of learning, right? And then maybe just kind of like checking the box with shallow experiences instead of impactful, meaningful ones. So here's a shift that I want you to make. Instead of asking, what do colleges want to see? Maybe start asking this question: what does my child need to be prepared for their next step? What does my child need to be prepared for their next step? Because college is not the goal. Say what? Oh, pass out, right? College is not the goal. Preparation is the goal. You want a child who is solid and ready, holistically sound. I'm not anti-college. All five of my kids are going to college. I'm good with college. I'm saying that's not the only destination for every child. And excuse me, and I'm also saying that you don't want to just launch somebody to college that's not ready, right? And who's not prepared, who's burnt out, who doesn't love learning, and who's chasing shallow experiences because they will do the same. They'll be burnt out in college, likely. They won't have a love of learning in college, and they'll be just like checking the block on all the experiences instead of really looking for those impactful ones for the 4 years of college, right? So preparation is the goal. So let's break it down. If you, let's say you have a student that's interested in psychology, college obsessed planning would say take every AP possible, add dual enrollment classes even if they are not aligned with that student, and load up on activities just to check boxes. That's college obsessed planning. College safe planning will say strong writing, reading skills, maybe a psychology course, volunteer experience or real world exposure opportunities, time to reflect, grow, and mature. There's a difference between those two: college obsessed planning and college safe. One is about impressing a system. Guess which one that is? The other one is about developing a student. Which one is that? You do not have to do everything to get your child into college. Your child does not have to do everything to get into college. And there are so many pathways to get there. Some students choose community college and then they decide, oh, I want to transfer into a 4 year university. Some go directly to college and they have a solid homeschool transcript because we give solid homeschool transcripts, right? Some get merit based admissions. They just like get in with lots of merit money, right? And some pursue test optional schools because the idea of taking a standardized test to get admitted just isn't for that individual student. So even competitive schools are looking for authenticity and depth, not just overload. They can spot overload, right? So they're looking for authenticity and depth, and that will be displayed in the college uh, application for admissions process. All right. So if you're feeling pressure right now as we come to a close, I want to encourage you. If you're comparing your homeschool to someone else's, like as I look out my window and I see green grass, and I'm like, don't look over into anyone else's homeschool backyard. Look at yours, right? If you're comparing your homeschool to anyone else's, I want you to be released from doing that. Your homeschool does not need to look like anyone else's to be effective. You're not behind. You're not messing this up. You just need a clear, aligned path. So be college safe, not college obsessed. Focus on preparation, not pressure. And build a student, not just a transcript. So if this was helpful, drop boot camp and I will send you the link to get registered for the boot camp. It is ongoing and the replays are available in our private boot camp Facebook group. And then you have plenty of sessions to come that you can pop on and join me live on Mondays at 3:30. All right. So I appreciate you. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the boot camp. And if I can support you in any other kind of way, definitely reach out if you need one on one consulting or any of those things. I'm here for that. All right. So look forward to talking to you.